Hello, Resurrection. It's June the 24th. It's Wednesday. Our regular summer programming, our summer schedule is everything's on for tonight. We'll meet for family supper at 6 o'clock, and then we'll have childcare for the little ones and kind of a lighter summer Bible study for the adults after that. No youth group tonight and no kids programming tonight, and I think that's going fairly well from what I hear. Now, I was out of town again last Sunday for a big old family wedding. It was in the cathedral in Topeka, which is a beautiful church. The great organ. The wedding was beautiful. It was a little bit like a family reunion, a cross between a family reunion and a seminary reunion. A lot of my professors and professor spouses and my seminary brothers and sisters were there. It was really really good to be with them, and married my goddaughter to a man who I had the privilege of baptizing, not this past Easter, but the Easter before that at Resurrection. And they are just two of the finest Christians I know. They're good kids. They are, sometimes you officiate at weddings and you just stand there and think this is very good and very right, and this one was. So thank you all for letting me get away for that. I know I've been out several weeks here in the last month, and I appreciate you letting me go. I'm done now, back for the long haul, and I think we're just smooth sailing now through the summertime. We'll get the program year going here actually before too terribly long. Again, it's going to be a short summer for us, and then we'll just kind of click along until All Saints Day when we start wrapping things up for the liturgical year. So the wedding on Saturday, I met a lot of Maggie, the bride. I met a lot of her friends, sorority sisters, and things like that. And I met a lot of Jackson's friends, the groomsmen, his frat brothers, and his real brother and his good friends. And they were the nicest bunch of folks. Of course, they would be, but uh, several of them had never been in a church before. At least it seemed to me that they had never been in a church before. I talked to a couple of them about baptism, and would love nothing more than to be able to baptize those gals and ladies sometime. But it brings me back to my kick, the kick that I have been on now for several weeks, maybe a couple of months, and that is that I think we're entering the golden age, or maybe we are already there. The golden age of evangelism in the United States. Uh, even even just as far back as when I was young in elementary school, middle school, high school, if you talk to somebody about Jesus, they had just as much information about Jesus as you did. They knew who he was. They knew what they did believe or what they didn't believe. Uh, and that was in the Bible Belt in the South, and now here at the other end of the Bible Belt in the South, I look around and it's just not the case anymore. Not even here. There are people who have never darkened the door of a church before. There are people who have not heard of Jesus, or they've heard of him, but they have no earthly idea who he is, what we believe about him. They don't know what we're doing inside these churches. We've got several young male visitors at church right now who have just walked in the door and said, "Never been here before. I just decided to walk in." I keep hearing about young men coming back to church, so I just decided to walk in and see what this is. They don't know if they're allowed in. They don't know what to do when they get here. They're worried about making a mistake. It's all very new and very strange and very intriguing to them. And the reason that they're not walking in the door is because we are not saying to them, "Hey, come walk in the doors." Right? This is what goes on in there. You're as welcome as you can be. No, looking out at the congregation last Saturday and seeing how many people were not saying the Lord's Prayer with me. Not because they were opposed to it, because they don't know it. They've never said it before. Talking to some of the guys there, especially about baptism, that they're not opposed to baptism. They're perfectly open to it. Nobody's ever talked to them about it before. Like I am quite sure that that was the first conversation they had ever had about being baptized, and they were interested. And I'll follow through on those. But y'all, if it's just about telling folks, then we better be telling folks. If it's just about inviting people, then we better be inviting people. If it's just about putting people at ease, then we better put people at ease. Um, you know, have you ever wondered what we do here? Well, come and see. Come on in and find out. I'll save a seat for you. You can ride with me. I'll pick you up. It's easy. Nobody's gonna make you uncomfortable. Nobody's gonna put you on the spot. You're not gonna mess up. All you do is come in and sit down and stand up and sit. You know, we do that a lot, right? Sit and stand and sit and stand in the Episcopal Church. Come on in. We'll show you how to do it. There's nothing to it. You'll enjoy it. You'll love the people here, and they'll come in and they'll learn about the Lord Jesus. You don't have to save their souls to get them in here. Just bring them in. Um, Jesus is in the business of saving souls, not us. We're just in the business of throwing out an invitation. Throw it out. Throw out the invitation. Every week that goes by, I am more and more convinced of what I'm saying to y'all right now. That we, it used to be when you transferred somebody into the Episcopal Church, you were transferring them out from another Episcopal Church. All we did was swap members round and round and round, and the days of that have got to be over, because there are too many people who don't know what we're doing here. There are too many people who don't really know who Jesus is. They don't know what we believe about him, and they do not know that they can turn to him. They don't know that they can turn to their church family. They don't know that they can turn to a priest. And the reason they don't know is because we're not telling them. It's as easy as that. And all we have to do is say, hey, I know something that'll be good for you. I know something that you'll love. I know something that you'll enjoy. I know something that you need. I know something that will make a difference in your life. I know something that will make you feel more fulfilled. It's my church, or it's a church, it's any church. Come on in and see. That really is all you have to do. I'm getting serious about that. I think y'all know that I'm getting serious about it. I have been preaching it and preaching it until I'm blue in the face, and I know that y'all are listening. I know that you would agree with me, and I know that you can look out and see the same things that I'm looking. So let's roll up our sleeves and let's do that. It's really not that hard. It really isn't that hard, right? I think it was harder back in the days when everybody knew who Jesus was, because then we got bogged down in the minutia. We got bogged down in trying to tell people how we believed differently from the Methodists or the Presbyterians or the Baptists, and you ought to come to my church because we believe just this much difference. No, we've got to talk to people about Jesus Christ because they've not heard it. I don't care what denomination they are. I don't care about paperwork. Yeah, I mean, y'all know that about me, right? I just want you to come. All we have to do is tell people to come on in and meet the Lord Jesus and meet the people who love him and the people who will love you too if you let them. It's as easy as that. I love y'all. I'll see you Sunday.